everything, I know everything. I feel top energy from you, said no one ever. I'm a Catholic, she's a Catholic. I can never do wrong. I'm so innocent, this is my song. But when I'm flirting, when she's flirting, I'm a stone cold top. What do you mean? I'm so innocent for this. I'm a stone cold top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, she's a top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, I'm a stone cold top. I know everything, I know everything. I feel top energy from you, but no one ever. I'm a stone cold top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, she's a top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, I'm a stone cold top. I know everything, I know everything. I feel top energy from you, said no one ever. I like to act confident, like I know what to say. I like to tease you, I like to play in my way. But when you say, get on the bed, I lose my cool and I get in my head. I'm a stone cold top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, she's a top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, I'm a stone cold top. I know everything, I know everything. I feel some energy from you, but no one ever. I like to act it, so sassy, but it's out of lie. Because I know deep down I'm a bottom inside. I'm a bottom inside. I'm not a furry, I'm not a furry, I'm not a furry. I'm a stone cold top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, she's a top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, I'm a stone cold top. I know everything, I know everything. I feel some energy from you, but no one ever. I'm innocent, I'm a top, I'm not a furry, but deep down I know bottom inside. I'm a stone cold top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, she's a top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, I'm a stone cold top. I know everything, I know everything. I feel top energy from you, said no one ever. I'm a Catholic, she's a Catholic. I can never do wrong. I'm so innocent, this is my song. But when I'm flirting, when she's flirting, I'm a stone cold top. What do you mean? I'm so innocent for this. I'm a stone cold top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, she's a top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, I'm a stone cold top. I know everything, I know everything. I feel top energy from you, but no one ever. I'm a stone cold top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, she's a top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, I'm a stone cold top. I know everything, I know everything. I feel top energy from you, said no one ever. I like to act confident, like I know what to say. I like to tease you, I like to play in my way. But when you say, get on the bed, I lose my cool and I get in my head. I'm a stone cold top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, she's a top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, I'm a stone cold top. I know everything, I know everything. I feel some energy from you, but no one ever. I like to act it, so sassy, but it's out of lie. Because I know deep down I'm a bottom inside. I'm a bottom inside. I'm not a furry, I'm not a furry, I'm not a furry. I'm a stone cold top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, she's a top, she's a stone cold top. I'm a top, I'm a stone cold top. I know everything, I know everything. I feel top energy from you, but no one ever. I'm innocent, I'm a top, I'm not a furry, but deep down I know bottom inside.
Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing? How we doing? How's life, the universe, and everything for all of you? Oh, sorry, if I went a bit loud. You might notice a few things on this stream. One of them being that... Oh, first of all, the camera's got an outdated view. One of them being that the ads might be a little bit different. because I'm trying to disable ads specifically for when I'm talking. And that doesn't always line up with the timing of the stream. So I'm making sure to run ads before I speak, if that makes sense. And I'm also going to be doing something new in terms of I'm now monitoring myself. Lovely. I'm now monitoring myself on my computer instead of on my phone, which I think I can do for writing streams because there's much less going on, if that makes sense. Pretty sure the universe is burning at the moment. Oh god, are you talking about the state of everything at the moment? Yeah. Things aren't great. But we're together right now. Hey, Black Iris. How are you both? I hope you're both doing well, or as well as you can be. Why is the prompt... Why does the text for the prompt look so... Looks like it's blending into the background. I want it to be a little bit brighter. I do still want it to be this nice orange shade that blends in quite well. Lovely. There we go. That's nice. Also, might not need the thing that light. That's pretty clear. Bring it down a bit. Sorry, I haven't set up with a note paper and pad in so long. It's so nice to be back on prompts. I apologise if the camera slips or anything. There we are. Look at us all set up and ready to go. Talking about the Charlie person? Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I unfortunately was one of the people who logged onto TikTok and saw the footage. I'm not happy that that happened. I'm not super affected by it. But I will say that it's had a little bit of an impact on me. And I'm being very careful with my mental health at the moment, just in case. But yeah, that was not great. Not fabulous. Can I also put a doc up for Chatham here? I hope so. Oh, yes, I can. Brilliant. I've now got 2 monitoring places. Isn't that great? Look at me go! I'm doing the things! Alright. Our prompt this week is castle. Now, an idea came to mind which I'm actually going to write out in full first before it disappears. So I went from castle to ruins to a Peregrine Falcon living in castle ruins. Why did I jump there? Because I met a guy who was photographing Peregrine Falcon chicks flying for the first time out of, I think it was Corfe Castle in the UK. And I loved it, and I got his Instagram and I saw the pictures. So I saw the baby up there, but it didn't fly while I was there, and I saw the pictures of the baby flying later on, and it was lovely. Ignorance is bliss. That's completely fair, Black Iris. Reasons I don't have much social media. Yeah, it's completely fair. What was annoying is that I had gone on TikTok to have a break from it. And then it was like, well, here's the raw footage. I was like, no. No, thank you. And then I went from Peregrine Falcon living in the castle rooms. Hi, Jinx. How you doing? To fable about preservation. And I'm not sure what that's going to mean yet. I don't know whether that means traditions. I don't know whether that means morally. Stability. That could mean anything. But I had an idea involving a Peregrine Falcon living in castle ruins, because I've seen that in person and I wanted to write a fable about that, and this would be the perfect time. Unsure what that's going to look like and unsure what I want the moral to be, but it's going to be about the preservation of the right things, if that makes sense. Like, maybe the Peregrine Falcon is up there and another bird is saying to the falcon, why are you continuing the tradition of raising your children in these gross castle ruins? And then maybe, I don't know, there's a storm and it knocks down the other bird's nest, but not the Peregrine Falcon's one, because he was smart enough to build it in a castle that has stood for hundreds of years. sort of that kind of a moral. That's all going around in my head. So I wanted to write that down before I lost it. Hey Jinx. Christian, I'm good, but I'm going to be delayed writing tonight, which is annoying, but whatever. Oh no, what happened? Ruins represent war. I'm going to put weaponry here. Because there were some real advancements in weaponry to do with taking down castle walls. Abandoned. Forgotten. What else does ruins say? I'm gonna put ghosts. I'm not super in the mood for a ghost story, but Ween is coming up, and it would be a good time to write the ghost stories to release them over Ween. What else do ruins say to me? Brick. By extension, dust. Crumbling. A lot of jobs have fallen on me today, and I'm just thrilled about that. I bet you are, Jinx. I mean, isn't that every day for you? Medieval, yes, I put past, so I'll put medieval here. Anyways, what's on the agenda today? Our prompt today is castle. As chosen by Lady of the Wheel. And I'm going through my spidergram as I usually do. I hope you can see it on stream. Yeah, you can see it on stream just about. And I just wanted to get one idea down because I knew I was going to forget it as soon as I thought about it. So I've worked on this branch quite a bit. But right now we're just looking at ruins. What does ruins mean? Medieval haunted. Lovely. An extension of ghosts and war. Death. King, Queens, Knights, Jester, Wizard. Yes, so, I guess... What would I put that under? Kingdom. I'll put that under Kingdom. I love that, Christian. Thank you. Queen, Knights, Jester, Wizard. I'm going to put Merlin. And I'm going to put Camelot. Why? Because I like them. Queen, Knights, Realm. You know, Knights of the Realm. Jester is an interesting historical figure. Because did you know that a lot of jesters were charged with breaking bad news to kings in Tudor times? Because they were the only ones who could get the kings in good humor. And so they were quite often the ones bearing the news. I'm going to put surprisingly important. I'm also going to put archer. I love a medieval archer. Man, I hope they got good pay. They were. I believe it was Henry VIII. Was it Henry? It was Will Somers, Henry VIII's fool or jester. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, what piece of news did he bring him? Sorry, I'm on Google. It's just the news. I can't remember, but he brought him some really like devastating news, and all of the officials in the court waited for the jester to be there. They're surprisingly important. If they didn't die, this is true. Which one of Henry's was the giant douchebag again? What do you mean, which one of Henry's? You mean the juggler or the jester? It was the juggler. The jester ended up throwing milk over the juggler. to humiliate him and kick him out of court, which was, I don't know, weirdly specific why milk would be involved. There's a joke I was going to tell you. You'll die from laughter. Anyway, don't worry about that. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Who is it? The invaders. Goodbye. What are those archery? I'm literally gonna put arrow holes in castles. Because you know castles have these incredibly thin windows that archers used to look out of and shoot out of. The king who had so many women replaced killed because they didn't give him a male heir. Yes. So this is taught, Christian, in the UK quite substantially. Henry VIII. So, Henry VIII married his brother's wife and was with her for over 20 years. When she couldn't give him a son, he consulted the Bible, which essentially said, if you marry someone who's already been married to your family, then they'll never have any children with you. Or there was a Bible passage that was interpreted like that. He used that to try and get a divorce. But in order to do that, he had to set up his own church and go against the Pope. So the first big split was the first divorce. I don't actually know. It was Catherine, right? I can't remember the names. And then the second one, the second lady was, she was painted as promiscuous. She used to go around with other men in court, and I believe they were together for less than a year before he had her beheaded. And then the third one did give birth to a son, Edward, but Edward died when he was 8, I think. Do fact check this. This is what I know from secondary school teaching. And she died in... Did she die in childbirth? I can't remember, but she died. She was divorced, beheaded, died. And then the next round, he agreed to marry a German woman, but when she arrived to England, he didn't like the look of her. I just know 60 musical vibe. He didn't like the look of her, so they divorced and ended on good terms. And in fact, she got an estate out of it. She was the one who came out the best. The one after that, I believe it was very difficult because she was very, very, very young. And I don't think that she knew that what was going on. And I think that some men in the court were trying it on with her. And she didn't know how to rebuff them or even be a wife. She was young. And so she was beheaded. She was definitely the one that got the worst deal. She was spun out of control. Henry liked the look of her, so she had to get married to him. Other men in the court liked the look of her, and she didn't... I get the impression that she didn't really know what was going on. And she was beheaded. And then the last one... I forget the names. The last one who died after Henry nursed him in his later age, where he was no longer at the point of trying to have babies. That's what I know about Henry VIII. Which is wild that I have that much information on it, because it was secondary school. Called Simplified. Pretty hilarious channel. Hey, close the gates! Keep the enemy outside the outer walls! Actually, I'm gonna put under Kingdom defense strategy. Because they were quite extensive. Hi, Lady Megora, how are you doing? Now link that up with archers. Aren't the stairways as well? Not the IRS again. How you doing? Knights needs to be in there as well. They used to use burning oil, catapults, archers, and I believe the classic just dropping a heavy rock off the wall. Yes, Lady Megora! Yes! Me and you, same brain. We connect. We're on that level. Hot oil archers spearmen. Lovely, 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 lovely. Patrolling. Beautiful. Alarm bell. Gorgeous. 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 Helby, Jinxie boy. Oof. You guys are the sweetest. All right, we're filling this up pretty quick. What does castle say to me? So our main ones we've got at the moment are ruins, kingdom, and defense. I want to put culture. And I want to put Tudors. And also, oh god, what were they called? What were they called? The ones who came over from France. Who invaded 1066? What's his name? Normans. That's it, Normans. Gonna put Anglo-Saxons as well. That's a little bit of a grey area because the Saxons themselves didn't really have castles, but the Anglo-Saxons did. Because there was such a big spanning... You know the medieval years last for like 1,000 years? It's a wildly big area of history. And it was right after we lost all of that technology from the Roman era. And it fascinates me that we went so far back. Different rooms, the staff, leisure activities. Lovely, lovely. Because there would have been a courtroom, and then there would have been a throne room and things, right? A hall, commanding officer and rank. Yes. And I put that under court. Yes, there would have been different ranks. Hierarchy. I'm going to put here, because there would have been a distinct hierarchy, and it wouldn't always have made sense. Like I said with the Jester, it wouldn't have always made sense, the hierarchy. And there was a lot of sort of nepotism in it, I guess you'd call it. I put quote-unquote noble blood. Because wasn't it true that only the son of a nobleman could become a knight? It didn't matter how good of a knight you were. You also had to be of noble blood. That means de-evolution is possible. If you have a look, Jinx, there was some pieces of written, very scarce pieces of written things from the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages is about 1,000 years long. And the fact that the Romans had sewers, the Romans had aqueducts, the Romans had all these brilliant structures and the materials to make them as well. And they brought them over to England. And then after the plague... sorry, no, the plague was another one. But after the Roman Empire died... Did the Roman Empire die of a plague? Am I messing that up? How Roman Empire collapsed? Never mind, that was to do with being invaded by Germany and also economic difficulties. Anyway, if you look at the works of the written works, which are very scarce, usually by monks, they talk about how they look at the structures that the Romans built, and it's like looking at something that a being has built that had such efficiency they can't imagine it. Like they thought angels had built them. Because they went from having those complex Roman structures, like mosaics, to having mud huts. Protective building for civilians. Centerpieces of the kingdom. Ooh, yes, yes, they usually are in the middle. Why did I put that? Kingdom. I'll put centerpiece here. gorgeous. Thank you, Lady Megora. Those bloody Germans. No, for some reason I thought it was the plague, but no, the plague hit way, way later. But that was another example of lost knowledge. And the Library of Alexandria. Is it the Library of Alexandria? We lost a lot of that. There was a lot of knowledge that we have lost. Not only because we couldn't pass it on, because we went straight into a state of survival after the Romans died. The Romans were a little bit about leisure. And so we went into a state of survival afterwards, so it wasn't passed on by word of mouth, but what was written down was lost. Jerry, no, leave my copper wires alone! Leave me alone! Hi, Jerry, how you doing? Secret passageways, fuck yeah. I'm gonna put that in defense strategies. I know it's not technically one. Have you guys ever looked up priest holes? A lot of Tudor castles have priest holes in them. Because it became a prosecuted thing to be a Catholic priest because Henry VIII had set up the Church of England. And so if you were a practicing Catholic or had a Catholic priest, you used to stuff that priest into a priest hole. And some of them were really elaborate rooms that were built into castles with secret doors and like pulley systems where you could feed them. It's really cool. Better than yesterday for sure. I'm drawing spicy art now. Hello, Jerry. Well, if you want to share, I do have a Den of Sin in my Discord, but it is hidden. Secret tunnel through the mountain. Secret, 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 secret tunnel. Priest holes were cool. I stand by this. I've seen a few priest holes in Tudor houses. There's one that's really famous. They were so successful that the execution tally for Catholic priests fell from 100 during the 1580s to 60 in the 1590s, 30 in the 1600s, 10 in the 1610s, and 3 in the 1620s. So in 40 years, they pretty much stopped being executed. While the number of priests at work rose from 130 to 1,610. They were ridiculously successful. It's Wallowa too. Let's go. We love Wallowa here. I'm a Wallowa. When I tell you that I love Wa, I love Wa. And I am a Wa. Another person of culture. Welcome. How come it's the first I hear of that? Priest holes? They're so cool. What got executed? Catholic priests in Tudor England. So it was under the legal restrictions of Queen Elizabeth II. So that's Henry VIII's daughter, who ascended to the throne in lieu of a son, and became one of the most famous monarchs ever. Do you know about Elizabeth I? She sent the Spanish packing several times. The Spanish thought, oh, we'll invade. There's a woman on the throne. England is weak. Oh, she sent them packing. That's how we became sort of ruler of the seas. In the Tudor era. I love Wa too! Let's go, Jerry! Aren't they amazing? Aren't Wa amazing? Anyway, I'm going to get into too much history now. We're going to stay focused. Castle. Castle. My ad is about to start. Oh, thank you for telling me. Sorry for anyone. I'm monitoring it for the first time on my laptop, so I can now see when the ads are about to start. I thought we were the rulers of the sea at that time. Well, we had, what's his name? We had Walter Raleigh, and begins with a W. I'm forgetting it. It would have been in one of the wars. Spain. Francis Drake. Didn't we also have a really famous one as well? I don't know, maybe it was just Walter Raleigh. But, so essentially the Spanish Armada was so big, but it didn't know how to sail in the waters between Spain and England, and we did, because we were so well practiced at it. And so we sent the Spanish packing several times. Know much about England's history in school? I cannot remember much about that from my school period. We learn a lot about English history here, because it's quite fascinating, because we're a very old country. I watched a lot of History Channel back then. But yeah, Christian, sorry, yeah, you were the rulers of the sea at that time. Wait, are you talking Norse? You talking north or south? There's some really good horrible history sketches where they're reporting back to, like, the Spanish king. And they're just like, we've sunk again. We're in English storms. And then he comes back in again and says, please tell me it hasn't sunk in English storms. And he says, we didn't get that far. We sunk off the coast of Spain. And perhaps the English competitiveness between them. Really? I didn't know that. Tell me everything. I freaking love history. We had a lot of Navy war with the British back then. That seems right. I swear we had, like, we had a really famous name. But I've forgotten the name. Forgotten the name, but he's known for taking down the Armada several times. He might have had a title instead. He might have been like the Earl of something or the whatever of something. Francis Drake and Charles Howard. Essentially, it's a really cool period of history. She was not very popular in Ireland, though, as you would expect, because it was full of Catholics. Of which I am descended from. Is Michiel de Ruyter? Ruyter? Am I saying that right? Michiel? Michael. Sailor captain. I mean, the 80 war year with Spain were ruled under Napoleon. Oh, yeah, that's true. This is true. Is Admiral Pasco that only becomes a descendant? You're a descendant of Admiral Pasco? Seriously, Jinx? That's so cool. Second kind is better. To my knowledge. To my knowledge. That's so cool. I'm looking up Admiral Pasco. I know we're getting off topic. We'll get back on topic in a bit. Oh, he acted as signal officer on board HMS Victory at the Battle of Trafalgar. Ooh. Because he's probably got a good family tree. He's probably got a good lineage. So you could trace that even further back. I'll tell you who I'm related to on both sides. Irish poverty. Served under Lord Nelson, I think. It looks like it. Don't do slavery, people, literally. We Dutch don't have a clean sheet as well. Oh, yeah. No, the Dutch were a real superpower in the era. I mean, Tudor? When does medieval stop and Tudor begin? I'm not actually sure of the dates. I'm going to use this last branch to put represent. A castle represents strength, sovereignty, nobility, riches, royalty. I'm gonna put hoarding. Because you know you had those stories of a dragon hoarding gold in a castle. Dutch, but I can't type anymore. I know what you meant. You mean tulip mania when the price of a tulip bulb was just as much as the price of the entire ship? Did that happen in history? Dutch tulips were that expensive? It did? I'm so glad it did. Oh, yes, I've seen it. I've seen it. Well, I've seen pictures of it. I've not seen it in person. But that is an excellent castle. Let me get it up on my screen again. When was that built? 19th century, 1800s. So it's quite a modern castle. Do you know, in terms of building castles, because we started building castles in sort of like 1000 and we're going to 1800. That's 800 years of building castles. Sorry, that's 800 years of building castles. Did I say 100 or 800? I'm not sure what came out of my mouth. I meant 800. That's 800 years of building castles. Not too long ago indeed, so perhaps add modern castles? I shall indeed. Moat for castle defense. Brilliant. I forgot about moats. I love moats. I think they also represent sort of conquering. Easy to topple using other means. Now this is gross. What I'm about to explain is something that did happen with castle sieges. Is they used to send diseased corpses, whether it be of the horses they brought with them, the people they brought with them, whatever else. They used to put it into the moats, the wells, and over the walls of the castle, hoping to weaken the people inside with disease. That was one of the winning strategies. It worked so well. And also the classic one, which you see in a lot of media, is single people climbing in through the sewers, right? So they could be taken down, not necessarily by... Like Iris is like, write that down, write that down. They could be taken down not necessarily by sort of big rocks or huge armies, but they could be taken down by a few people in the right place. Which I think adds a little bit of sort of poignancy to what a castle represents. There's all that strength, but also a sort of forgetfulness that you're also human and you're susceptible to disease and surprise. Wasn't there also a king who was killed on the toilet in his castle because he was stabbed in the butt? I have a feeling he was stabbed in the butt by a Viking. I already have my idea for today. Oh yeah, Black Iris, what are you gonna do? Also, I didn't realize, so I went to visit a castle. It was the castle that Mary, Queen of Scots, gathered her troops in before she marched on England. It was incredibly interesting. And the person there gave us a little tour, and he said, when you're picking out a place for a castle, you choose a hill, you choose a place that's not going to be flooded, you choose a place that has a good vantage point that you can see a lot in. But they would also take note, and it was higher up on the list of priorities than people think, they take note of the nearby forest land and how good it was in terms of how sustainable it was, how much they could hunt there. There is! I was just going to type that. Ayy. Overthrowing a castle. Nice, Black Iris. Really going against it. Overthrowing a big, big castle. I like that. I like that a lot. What's it called? What's that thing called? What was the thing that every knight had to swear to? Chivalry. And then also the double standard of what chivalry meant. Courage, honor, courtesy, generosity, justice, faith, defense of the weak, service to women. Oh, the term chivalry comes from the Old French term chevalerie, not sure, referring to the horse soldiery of the Holy Roman Empire. So it's a Roman term. That's cool, because it's a Roman term, but also after the Roman Empire, we lost so much. Developed from the late 11th to 12th centuries. In terms of technology, we really didn't go anywhere for about 1,000 years. It makes sense that castles were so popular for so long. Sorry, I was deep in the wiki page. Forgive me. I actually don't know how castles were built in terms of who built them. I'm gonna hazard a guess that there was quite a few slaves involved. Who built castles? Who actually constructed the castles? So a stonemason would make the plan and make the bricks, and then it would be assembled by peasants? William the Conqueror. There is a castle in the middle of Oxford that the Normans built when William the Conqueror came over. And it is in the middle of the high street. And everybody walks past it. But I'm like, do you know that thing is 1,000 years old? I'm fascinated by it. Let me look up what that castle was. Oh shoot, there's two castles. I'm thinking about the Norman one. Was it a tower? It might be that the tower is the only bit standing. Yes! Large, partly ruined medieval castle on the western side of central Oxford. I have walked past this castle at various times in my life, over and over. If you want an interesting read, there you go. They built a prison on it. Most of the original moated wooden Mott and Bailey castle was replaced with stone. So it was made of wood at first. That's crazy. From 1071 to 1073. So in 2071, that castle will be 1,000 years old. And you can just go see it. And people walk past it. Literally thousands of people walk past it every day and don't pay any attention to it. It's so cool. Oh, it's so cool. I've never visited it as a tourist. I've only ever walked past it. Which I feel like I should go on it. So in terms of writing today, I'm thinking introspective castle used to represent something. Could be poem. Could be a poem with imagery. I have my fable idea, which will need expanding on. What else could you do? What are you guys thinking of? I'm thinking fiction, historical fiction. I'm thinking medieval, magical fiction, kind of like Merlin. Fantasy, that's what I'm looking for. Fantasy. Expanding on that, I had this weird idea in my head, which I'm going to write down. It might not come to anything. But do you ever have the idea, do you need a main character? So I have it, if I'm writing a fable today, I have one. Otherwise, yes, I do. I do need one. I had this idea where it's like, when I first thought of a castle, and I thought about all the things that happen inside the walls. So from the outside, it looks like a medieval castle, but on the inside, it has a bunch of modern technology. You see what I mean? Underwater castle like Atlantis. I like that a lot. Or keep it very general. I'm probably going to expand on the fable. But I will need a secondary character in that. But that character has to be an animal. Subversion of expectations, I'll put. Because who says that the castle you write about can't also be an alien spaceship? Like, there's room for subversion of expectation. Because a castle is such a classic concept. You know what I mean? Or like Frankenstein, where there's like biological experiments happening in the basement. That could be cool. Tell me it couldn't be cool. That could be cool. That could be cool. Alright, that is our spidergram done. In my opinion. So, my first line of thought was ruins. The peregrine falcon that I saw living in the castle ruins on holiday. I need to find the Instagram of the guy. I do follow him. A fable about preservation, traditions and moral stability. And I think it's going to be a little bit like that Bible story of don't build your house on unsteady sand. Where I'm going to have a peregrine falcon build their nest in the ruins of a castle. And other birds to mock the peregrine falcon. But then there's a really nasty storm that blows away all the birds' nests apart from the falcons. Because she was smart enough to build it in castle ruins that have stood tall and strong for hundreds of years. Does that sound like a fable? That kind of sounds like a fable. Or a living being like a giant turtle. Grrr. I'm literally going to write giant turtle. I'll know what I mean by that because in Avatar The Last Airbender, there's a turtle with a city on its back. Don't forget the dungeons. Ooh, yes. That sounds so cute, like a giant lion turtle, right? If you need bird of prey knowledge, I'm your girl. Do you know what kind of... So, do you know of a bird of prey that's slightly bigger than a peregrine falcon? Just slightly bigger. But it maybe is also known for being fast. Because isn't the peregrine falcon the fastest bird of prey? Please do info dump, Lady Magori. You are allowed. I like that. Giant turtle underwater. Who says we can't do that? Lots of shows take the giant turtle. I like that idea, though. It's really cool. I like the idea of revisiting this prompt as well, because you know how we wrap up the prompts at the end of the month? We're only going to have 2 to wrap up this month, because I'm taking my week off. So I think I'll write my fable today. Or I'll plan out the fable today, but I'm also going to plan out a secondary one. And I'm veering towards the subversion of expectations. I like that, and I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet. I'm also, I don't know, do I want to put that? I'll put it anyway. I'm gonna put time travel. Not much can tip on its speed. Really? Peregrine is the fastest animal in the world? I did not know that. That's so cool. Looks like I'm gonna have to change my writing day. Oh no, Jinx, what's happened? What's happened? Jinx needs his writing time, goddammit. I have so many tabs open with different things about castles, but this is what the research phase is for. Too many job, need to cook and sort things out for tomorrow. Well, I am gutted to hear that, Jinx. But thank you for sticking with us through the planning phase. And if you have any ideas, just jot them down on a notepad, and then you can revisit them later. That would be my advice. But I'm really sorry to hear that you've been interrupted again. A goshawk might come closer. The red-tailed hawk or the kite, a typical species for the UK. I like the kite. I like red kites. Because they're very loud, and the character in the story is a very loud voice of teasing for the peregrine falcon, and also the red kites had to be reintroduced, so they're fairly fresh, so they wouldn't have the same knowledge as the peregrine falcon in terms of like if they could speak in fables sort of thing. I like the red kite. Thank you so much, Lady Megora. I wake up to the sound of red kites around here. I do like a red kite. Sort of. Why are you messy? Oh, I see. Taking the front of the book. Alright, well, anyway. They're beautiful. Aren't they gorgeous? Aren't they gorgeous? There's a lovely bit in Clarkson's farm where he's ploughing. He has to manually plough some of his soil. And all the red kites come out. Because of the freshly tilled soil. And it's a really beautiful, like, cinematic moment. Alright. I'm writing the fable, and then I may touch on a secondary idea, which... I want to touch on a secondary idea that's, like, so freaking wacky. I want to take a character, a modern character, who goes to visit the castle, breaks off from the tour group, goes into the basement, touches something that he shouldn't, and is immediately teleported back into medieval England, and he has to try and pass as like a nobleman to try and get back into the castle, to try and touch the thing again to get back to modern time. I want to write something so wacky like that, so that he steps into medieval England for a few days. Kestrel is flying around the flat building sometime. I love it. Jackdaws are flying over many evenings too. I like the jackdaw. I might include jackdaws in it as well. Because I do like to have sometimes a third character. It's not necessarily just two characters in the fable. Even though in the title it will be the falcon and the kite. But including other animals can be quite sweet too. Forked tail structure in its silhouette. Yes! Thank you so much! Beautiful. Alright, that is our spidergram. I am going to head on over and go into our first sprint. So we are doing 4 sprints today. So it should last an average of 2 hours. So it will be a 3-hour stream. As always, we'll do 25 minutes, 5-minute break, and then another 25 minutes, and then a 15-minute break after that. So for every 2 sprints, we get a 15-minute break. And I will be cracking on with the fable. If I do have an excess of time, which I doubt I will start to work on my laptop and do some more beta reading and things. But to be honest, I might just do that tonight. I've got a lot to catch up on tonight, lots of admin tasks. And so it might just be nice to spend the whole time focused on this one short story. So, without further ado, I am going to start the timer and turn the lo-fi up. I wish you all the best of luck. I hope your sprint goes well and your idea goes well and whatever you're doing during this goes well. I'll be lurking. No worries, no worries. Thank you for the lurk. Thank you for putting your view counter up there. And also, if an ad comes on at a weird time, it's me. I'm manually starting them. I have to play them because it disables pre-roll ads for new viewers. But I'm doing them manually so that they play when I'm not talking. Because I've had it that I've stopped the sprint, gone for the 5-minute break, and somebody's been hit with 5 minutes of ads. And it's really unfortunate. So I'm going to be doing manual ads, so it might mean that they come up at weird times. I apologize for that. I'm trying my best. But yes, we'll head on into focus mode. Good luck, everyone. I will see you in 25 minutes. Emphasis on the twerking, Christian, honestly.
show you guys something.
What is it?
Oh, you're gonna have to wait and see. It's a surprise, man.
Daddy, is this volume 2?
It is, baby. Yeah.
Alright, there we go. That is our first sprint done. I am laying down the groundwork for what I think is going to be a very good fable. So I've started to establish the story. Anyway, I've had it so that the falcon is expecting as much as a bird can be expecting, as in going to lay fertilized eggs. And her partner flies away from the storm, leaving her there. Because I've looked it up, and peregrine falcons build the nest together. And so I'm going to have it so that she's abandoned, and so she needs to find a place for the nest, because that's a little bit more of a cradle. Because she can't build it in a tree on her own, and there isn't enough time before the storm hits or her eggs come. So that's why she turns to the castle to build it. And proves everybody wrong. Castle, castle of my mind, walls so thick to make my stubborn shine. Castle, castle, centre of my thoughts, the foundation I depend on when I get lost. Castle, castle, crumbling here and there as my confidence through life begins to wear the end. Oh, Tay, that's so sad, but I love it. Look at that creativity. Look at that creativity right there. Also, I apologise about the ad situation. I am manually running the ads today. I'm also testing whether the pre-roll off stacks. So you may A, get a few more ads, and B, get ads at weird times. But it will never be when I'm speaking. It will never be in the break, so you won't miss anything. You're just going to miss a little bit of lo-fi, so feel free to mute it. And because I'm doing it manually, because I've had it that people get to the break, and it's a 5-minute break, and then they get hit with 5 minutes of ads and they don't hear anything. So I'm trying to fix that, but I'm also learning a little bit about the pre-roll off feature of ads, so I do apologise. That's my lunch break contribution to the prompt. Well, thank you, Tay. Thank you so much for the wheel, but any more time to think on it? No worries, Jinx. When it's ready, pop it in the writing section of Discord. Tag Lady Magura as she runs the wheel. But, yeah, that's good. This is a good thing. This fable's going to be good, I think. I'm going to get the bare bones of it down on paper. I'm reading through it and I'm like, oh, it's not good. But it doesn't have to be good. It just has to be. Because I want to... The main story is not to do with her being abandoned. The main story is when the storm hits. So... I need to sort of, as much as I can, tell the story that she's been abandoned quite quick. So I've put, she and her mate disagreed on what to do. She wanted to build a sturdy nest deep in the forest and wait for the storm to pass, while he wanted to fly away and avoid the storm altogether. Peregrine falcons are the fastest animal on Earth, after all, which I learned from Lady Magora. And then I'm going to have them sleep on it, and when she wakes up, he's flown off. Hello, Cupcake. Hello, Pale. How you doing? How you doing? Is it? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Pale, I was just explaining I'm manually running ads and I'm also experimenting on the pre-roll off feature. So if you get more ads, weird ads, longer ads, whatever it is, don't worry, it's me, I'm doing it, and they will not happen when I'm speaking. They will only happen in the sprints. I'm a stressy Pale. Work has been shit today. People are having really bad days today. And I'm really sorry about that. I'm so sorry work has been shit. I'm ad-free, baby. Yes, of course you are. You're turbo. You're a turbo boy. Well, I'm not sure what you see in mod view, actually. I'm not sure whether you'll see me, like, doing it. I don't know, because if you see me doing it and you're like, oh my god, she's been hacked. Yeah, I have, like, a couple of things. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But I've disabled pre-rolls for another 47 minutes, but then I'm gonna run... I might run a 1-minute break. Because what if I could run all the ads at the start of stream? And you guys were aware that I was doing that, and then we could have a 3-hour stream that's completely ad-free. Would you guys be up to that? Be up for that? If it stacks, if I know that it stacks, but I don't know that yet. I've got to experiment with that. How are we doing on the times? Oh god, 6 seconds. I was expecting at least a couple. Alright, we are heading on into our second sprint. I am going to continue working on paper and pen and finish up the bare bones of this fable. I had no breaks, no lunch. There were no trucks available in London this weekend and 5 new jobs for this weekend. I had a rather nasty first aid incident to deal with. Shit! First aid incidents. Especially nasty ones. Is the person okay? As in hospital and taken care of? The most will be 3 minutes every hour. Really, Black Iris? Oh, boo. Even when it's triggered by the streamer? Oh, boo. Hooking me up with an employment assistance facility. That sounds good, Tay. That's nice of them. Wait, has someone got ads? I hope not. Broken ankle. Ooh. I bet that looked spicy. Whoa. Maybe makes me feel fizzy in my fingertips. Yee. Alright, I'll still be active in text chat, but I'm going to turn up the lo-fi and turn off my mic. There's a pill for that. There's a pill for that. Alright, I'll do that. And I will still experiment with the ads, because I managed to mute the pre-rolls for over an hour. I wonder if I can do that again. Oh, do you know what? I don't know. I'm not smart enough for this. Almost a squish by half a ton, though, so not as bad as it could be. Oh my god, what a near miss, though. And the near miss form. Whoosh. Yeah, I was just replying to you, B. I was just gonna say, I should add that as a feature to the Pomo timer. If I get distracted, there should be a 5-minute sin bin. I'm close to reaching my PC plan total. Okay, what's going on with that? Tell me everything. Also, this is our slightly longer break. We get 15 minutes. I encourage you all to stand up, get a snack. Please tell me if an ad runs, because it really shouldn't. And yeah, I've made a good start on this. I'm going to have it. So the big storm is coming, and so are the falcon's eggs. And she finds this little hole in the castle wall. She nestles into it because she's small enough, because peregrine falcons are very small. And then a kite comes over to taunt her and say, there's no way you're going to survive this storm. You're an idiot. What are you doing? You should just abandon your eggs. You should just whatever. And then, anyway, the storm comes and the kite gets blown away. The kite's nest gets blown away, and the peregrine falcon's nest, eggs, and everything survives. And then the moral at the end of it is... strength can be measured in knowledge. Or... I'm not sure. I might change that. I need to highlight at some point in the story that the peregrine falcon knows about... This is the knowledge factor. So she's paying attention to the knowledge that's been passed down to her, that the wall is 1,000 years old. And the hawk the kite thinks that nothing could ever be that old, nothing is ever going to stand up to the storm. And anyway, it does. It's good. What else should we do with the extra 13 minutes? Happy. Once I've hit my goal, I'll buy everything I need for my PC parts and get it sorted out. I'm literally rebuilding it from screws to bios and parts. Can I ask how much you're spending on it? Completely optional question. I'm just being a nosy girl. I'm a nosy bee. Alright, standing up. Woo. Standing up. Get water, get a snack. I'm stretching out my hips. My hips are the worst. It used to be that my lower back suffered, but now it's my hips that suffer. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. Draw my curtains, it's dark. Nobody needs to know all the simple things I get up to in here. 1,000 depending on what's left. I may see about a second monitor or a new one. Brilliant, Jinx. That seems reasonable. Remember not to cheap out on thermal pads / paste. My brother messes with the thermal paste in his computer and it freaks me out. It freaks me out. It's so important. And so scary. Everybody stretch. Yeah. Oh, that was a good stretch too. Ooh. That was a good stretch. We already know the simple things you two do. You know, pal. You understand. You understand. Do let me know if anyone gets an ad, because you shouldn't have them. Okay, there we go. My chair is leaning forward. Is that a common problem? Oh, I just need to turn the chair upside down and tighten the screws by the looks of it. That's a fairly easy fix. Don't tell me what to do, you're not a priest. As far as you know, I was raised Catholic. I could be a priest. Actually, no, you can't. You literally can't be a female Catholic priest. You literally can't. They really held onto that rule. They really held onto that rule. You never guess what I'm getting tomorrow. I've splurged on myself. And not in the sexy way. I've got a printer. A new printer's coming in the post tomorrow, and I'm really excited about it. A nun outfit. That's 1-0. Newt nil. Mm-hmm. That's me realizing my smack talk is literally impossible. You don't know I'm not a priest? Wait. Wait. Sorry, my new folder is also at the base of my chair, causing issues. New folder, new printer. I'm gonna be so excited tomorrow. I'm gonna print out so much shit. What's wrong with this chair? Sorry, I'm messing around with the chair now. To focus. And then pay ink cartridges on day 2. I think it comes with cartridges. I am rapidly realizing that I didn't check that B. Let me see. Do you come with ink? I hope so. You get some free ink though with it because it's a HP product, which means you get some free ink, but you might need to give them your email. We'll see when it arrives because it comes with a deal. I think it comes with a code. 700 pages a month? Get 3 months of instant ink. Print up to 700 pages a month. A what? Oh yeah, it comes with 2 cartridges. So, do I need to sign up for the free ink fairly soon? Because it comes with cartridges and then it might expect you, those cartridges, not to run out. That could be sneaky. You mean heavy paperweight? HP, you know the company. Do you want the bad news now or later? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me everything. Tell me. I'm ready. I'm ready for the bad news. Uh-oh. Heavy paperweight is about all it's good for. You don't like HP printers? I've only had good experience with HP printers though. But that could be because it's library level stuff. If you do cheaper generics, they just don't print. But that's because I looked up the price of the ink as well. And it's not... If it's cheaper than Canon ink. Which I'm happy with. Because I've chosen it basically because there's a HP at work, which I really, really, really like. Because the Canon cartridges I used to get, if you got a double pack of the extra large black and tricolour ones, that could be £40, which was as much as the printer. Look at that. With instant ink, you'll automatically receive new cartridges when your ink level runs low. Delivery and recycling included, all starting at $1.79 a month. But that's got to be limited to something, right? Because otherwise you could just keep printing forever. You have to kick ass and use a hammer. I don't mind being tied to HP inks, to be honest. The one at work has this really cool, like, refill thing where it's like flat cartridges and they go in almost like you're posting a letter. Ordering ink myself in order to make them get the ink. I know their business package is good. Their end consumer products, not so much. But that's just from my experience. That's fair, B. That's fair. So I'm using it as a, I guess you'd call it a small business product. Because I do need to do a lot of printing as a writer. But it's not the same level of printing that you'd have, say, at like a library or something. But I am the only person who owns a printer in my friend group and family. So it will see a lot of use. You know, can always charge him £1 to use it. I can make a profit. to know though. HP. What's the cartridge it comes with? It tells you it's a 300 number. It's a HP DeskJet 2810E. $305. It's $305. So 305 ink cartridges. Let's look up what a double costs. I did look it up. Yeah, double XL, £27. And with my Canon printer, it was about 41. It'd be in the software that you use to manage it. I mean, it's good technology. Regular size one, £21. That's better than Canon. Obviously, I've not seen it print, but price-wise, it's better than Canon. See, I don't much care about this. It prints 7.5 pages a minute. I don't care. It can take as long as it needs to print. I'm going to be sending the file and leaving it to do its work. You can load up 60 pages though. That's good, because then you can leave it. You can AFK the printer. Yeah, people are happy with the printer, but they question a little bit of the ink quality, which is fair. It's fair. It's instant ink. So it's never going to be the same as it. You've done your homework first, so I feel more reassured. Yeah, I did more than a quick look. I've been sat on buying a printer for about 2 months. That's not to say that there's holes in my knowledge. There probably is. But we'll see how it goes. I'm excited by it. I've got a lot of printing to do. So it's gonna be put through its paces. What I don't understand is the subscription. Because surely that's a terrible idea. Because you can get... It's saying that you get replacements for your ink as soon as you run out. Coco, we're proud of you. Don't say that, Pete. Don't say that. It says that you can get replacement things, but that you pay monthly for that. But then people could take advantage of that. So why don't they just say, pay this a month and get a cartridge every 3 months? I don't quite understand the purpose of that. I'm not sure what it's trying to sell me. Oh. Okay, light printing, £1.79 a month, up to 10 pages per month. I'm definitely going to use it more than that. $4.50 up to 50 pages. $6.49 up to 100 pages. And so I guess this is calculated on if you printed that much, how long it would take for you to run out. I'm going to run some numbers. Everything is a subscription now. There's even software that you buy that you have to pay a yearly fee to use. Yeah. So there's, you know the Pomo timer I use for this very stream? The top one on the market is a subscription. And I really didn't want to do that. So I searched everywhere and I managed to get this one from Etsy, which was a £10 price. So I was happy to pay the £10 once rather than pay the £1.50 a month or however much it was for the other Pomo timer. I'd rather just pay it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to run the numbers on that. Because if they've just calculated... I'll take the free trial, don't get me wrong. Free trials are great. I never forget to cancel them. I am a business's worst enemy. I will put that in my calendar and it will be cancelled a few days before. So that they don't automatically charge me. I'm good with that. So I get 7 months of free ink, which I guess is just an extra cartridge? But what if I get my whole backlog of printing done while I'm still getting 7 months free? What does that cover? You know what I mean? I need to look at what that covers. And also, the amount of ink distributed for the price. Because business printing, 700 pages a month, is £28. So if you have to replace the cartridge every 1,000, then you may as well just buy the cartridges. You know what I mean? I'm from the 90s. There's no way I'm paying a subscription for something I use. Either sell me your product or I'll pirate it. I know. I'm leaning towards that, like, you buy a cartridge when you need it, and then you're not tied to something. Oh, hey, Pimento. Oh, we stretching. And we're supposed to be in focus mode. We're looking up printers now. Hey, Pimento, how you doing? Thank you for the stretch. Ooh, that always makes me laugh. Because if you calculated it per page, not per page, if you calculated it in terms of like how much printing you do per month to the cost of the cartridge every time you buy it, I reckon there wouldn't be much in it. Someone's done that maths. Thank you for the biddies. Someone's done that maths. We're focusing on inks. Sorry, 10K? 10K? What's 10K? Still reading the banana book. The history is depressing. Oh, Pimento, I'm sorry to hear that. That should be my walk-on. It really should. It really should. Also, let me real quick, because I'm not focused right now. The break is being extended. I bet someone on Reddit has done... I bet someone's done the maths. Yep, Reddit, is it worth it? Thanks in advance. If you regularly print ink-heavy pages with colors and graphics, with some predictability and consistency, then you will get value out of a subscription. If you hate finding the money for too expensive cartridges that only print a few pages before running out, or find yourself running printer head cleaning, then you may appreciate a predictable monthly payment. Okay, a lot of value from HP Instant Ink comes from the fact that the cartridges have a lot more ink in them, with very little risk for paying for wasted ink. I wonder if there's a way that you could make it so that you are getting the ink for a lot cheaper. But I don't think people have thought of that. Because it sounds great. The subscription sounds great until you actually think about it. And they're like, no, because they're charging per page and they know when your ink's gonna run out. It all depends on how good the sensor is in the printer. The amount of printers I threw out because I'd scream my ink is low and print crappy. That's what happened to my last one. I bought a lovely extra large double cartridge for it, put it in, printed one page, and it said it was low. It was an old Canon printer, and to be fair, it was old when I bought it. So anything, I just need a good printer. Goldfinger, it's from Brazil, and it has a flavor of something like an apple, and it's called the apple banana, acid banana. It has a thicker peel than the Cavendish, and it stays ripe longer. That sounds cool, Pimento. Okay, this person has a more cynical view. Okay, so if you don't use a certain amount of ink before your subscription lapses, you have to wait. What do you mean? Okay, this person's got a little bit... This person on Reddit is a bit confused. You can buy the cartridges separately. I know exactly how they came up with Goldfinger. I think these people are getting confused on Reddit. A lot of people are saying that you have to pay a monthly subscription for the printer, and you don't. It's an option. Sorry, I'm reading through Reddit. This is what the writing stream has become. Some models you definitely need a subscription, but I wonder about the maths. I really, really, really want to do the maths on it. Oh my god, there's some people who have spent $700 on their printers. And they're also paying like $24 a month to keep the printer full. That's terrible. You can just buy the... Do people not know that you can buy the cartridges? Or maybe is it that they outdate the things? If that makes sense. So this is a fairly new printer, so it comes with 305 cartridges. But then will it make it so that 305 cartridges aren't available? Some of the functionality will be locked behind a paywall. You think so? That's not the gist I got from what it says on Amazon, but if it's like that, I will return it. I don't mess around when it comes to this. I've bought something, it should work. It's a printer, it's a small time printer, basically. It's DeskJet 2810 that runs on 305 ink. When I looked it up online, people were happy with it. It's got 4.3 on Google. Maybe it's just the huge industrial models that they have a real big issue with. Oh wow, you get it from John Lewis, it's twice the price. I got a good deal, I didn't even know. Oh my god, it's triple the price in Argos. Okay. Amazon, why are you so cheap? Those rights repair channels complaining how companies are following the Apple way of business, but again, it's model specific, and I think regional also varies. I wonder whether there's a thing against that in the UK then. It doesn't look like any functionality is locked behind it, but it does come with, it does advertise the Instant Ink subscription, which I'm curious about because I think it could be, I could save money, but at the same time I haven't done the maths on it. Honestly, what I did with my last printer is I got the printer and then I got like 3 double cartridges to go with it. And that lasts about as long with my level of printing as the printer. Or at least my old one. My old one only lasted a few years. I'm not looking for a lifetime printer. I'm looking for a printer for the next 5 years. But I certainly need more than what they're advertising. Because the lowest tier is 10 pages a month, which is... I'm going to do 10 pages in a minute. Alright, I'm going to restart the timer because I've lost focus. Till we plug it in, try it, we won't know. Exactly. Amazon has a good return policy at least. That's the thing. I will be able to return it if I need to. And I'm not too fussed about the ink only being HP because I had a Canon printer and I only used Canon cartridges because I knew they'd fit. And they're not extortionate. They're not extortionately more expensive than the knockoff ones is what I mean. We'll see what happens. You could be boxing it up tomorrow. But thank you for telling me. It's a bit of context I didn't know. Oh Jesus, that's a sideways camera. Is it a sideways camera? Yeah, it is. Alright, we're getting back into it. I've hit writer's block. We hit distraction block. We're getting back into it, Jinx. I did restart last time and it didn't work, so I'm going to try start this time. No, it's done it again. Pardon me while I fix the timer. There we go. Hit it higher! You know what's up. I'm going to continue with my Fable story, and thank you for the printer information. I appreciate it. I am very excited that the printer's coming. I cannot wait to see what it's going to be like, because I would say that the printer I got about 5 years ago was about 15 years too old. So in terms of technology, it's going to feel like a dream. But I do want to make sure that I don't get myself roped into any subscriptions or anything. So thank you for letting me know. I am going to head on back into it. So the lo-fi is going to go up. My voice is going to go off, but I'm still going to be active in chat. Good luck, everyone. Oh, we're back. We're in our little break. I was so focused I didn't even notice. Oh, there we are. Don't want the lo-fi too low. You won't be able to hear it. How are we getting on? I'm getting towards the end of the fable here. I've noticed that I've not put enough of the moral in it, and on the second draft it's going to have a lot more of the moral in it. But I'm going to have a nice little ending where the kite has a change of heart and almost agrees to be the Falcon's pseudo-partner, if that makes sense. Not enough morals I can relate. Happy. I feel that. But I'm going to have a nice little ending where they raise the eggs together and the parents, the kite and the falcon, tell the little falcons how strong the wall is. If that makes sense. So because it's a generational thing, I might even add a scene in where the falcon, who is the mother in this one, is being told by her mother about the wall. But I'm not sure whether the word count's going to allow for it. I tend to go for 800 to 1,000. And I think... I don't know how many. How many do I do? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So about 9 every line. And these are 32 lined pages. Let's do 9 times 30. 9 times 3. Which is... 27? 270? So each side of the paper is 270. 500. Yeah, so that would be... I would say I'm about 1,000 words. Is that right? Is that maths right? That doesn't feel right. 288 words per page? Then I would be averaging. Which means I've done 4 pages. Which means I've done about 1,000 to discount all of the breaks in it. About 1,000. Which is my upper limit. And add 32. I'm a nerd. I know binary. Of course you do, pal. There are 2 types of people in this world. There's people who understand binary and normal people. I don't get it at all. My brother understands binary. I've tried because I got very competitive about it at one point. But I just cannot do it. It's never it's gonna be me. Need to figure out how this ends. He speaks robot. He's the witch. Those who understand binary and those who don't. What do you mean? This is binary code. I don't understand. With the words "the end." Well, I feel like... So I have a choice. I either end it when the audience finds out that the kite's mate, nest, and eggs have all been swept away by the storm. Or I do this little bit, which I've naturally written, of this tiny little resolution where the kite helps the peregrine falcon with her eggs because they've both lost their mates. Because it's a 2-bird job. I also maybe want to change the moral. So I'm not sure whether I want to make it about generational knowledge. Knowledge passed through generations has insurmountable value. Or I want to make it about ego. I feel like maybe I've done ego before, so I should stick to the generational aspect. 10. 1 plus 0. Binary is just 1 or 0, on or off. And that's why I don't get why the pattern of on or off makes sense. 0 is 0, 1 is 1, 10 is... Fuck. 11 is 3. 100... What do you mean? 100 is 4. 101 is 5. 110 is 6. 111 is 7. 1000 is 8. 1001 is... I'm nerd. Okay, I typed it wrong. No, but I know what you mean because the 1's moving up, isn't it? So 101 would move up to 110 and then another one comes in and makes it 111. Like, I get that, but why does that make sense? Okay, I typed it wrong. Okay, we're back in focus mode. I'm going to turn the lo-fi up. I'm going to turn myself off. And then I'm going to get back to writing. It is our last sprint. So I'm going to put on our super duper focus music. And we are going to nut up or shut up. Isn't that what he says? In Thingamabob? Zombieland? That's it. Alright, lo-fi's going up. Focus mode is going on. Last sprint, 25 minutes. We got this. Good luck, everyone. Again, I was so taken up with my things, I didn't even notice the timer. We are done for today. 4 out of 4 with the little tick and the little ring. I think the correct word would have been ole. Of course, a good girl such as yourself as a fast learner. No, I wouldn't be into that. Don't know what you mean. We did some good work today. Look at that. Prompt castle. We did a big spidergram. We did our fable plan, and I've done my fable outline right here over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Which sort of sticks to my word count. Sort of is a bit over. It's going in the old folder. The new folder is going to be this folder because it's freaking huge. I'm gonna print, when I have the printer, a nice big cover for it that says Newt, Write a Woman's Writing Club. And I'm gonna ask, is it Lady Magora or Pale? Whichever one of you has the backlist of the prompts. I'm gonna have a copy of that in here as well, and then all the projects divided by little dividers. We're gonna be very good. Great job. Thank you, B. Yes, sir, I will give you a new treat. Newt's huge. Yes. Newt's huge. That's me. Right. Let us head on to the stream ending page. Let us find someone to raid. I think we're going to raid out today.
I'm a Catholic, she's a Catholic. I can never do wrong. I'm so innocent.
Actually, you know what? Let's not raid out today. Let's raid out tomorrow. I was just thinking about how much time I have to actually spend in the person's chat, and I don't have a huge amount. So I'm going to say let's raid out tomorrow. Let's spread some Friday love tomorrow. But yeah, thank you for joining me today on today's writing club. Thank you for going through the prompt with me. Thank you for using the Pomo timer. Thank you for giving me your numbers and your bloody patience with the ads. I'm figuring it all out. Night night and naughty nightmares to one and all. I'm figuring out the ads. I'm doing the hopefully good stuff with him, and we will hopefully get to a point of balance where you'll have less ads, I hope. Have a good one. Thank you, Christian. Thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting, for lurking, for being here, for absolutely everything in between. Thank you for being so generous with your biddies. Thank you for being so generous with your time, your personalities, and how lovely you are. Thank you, Pale. I won't. Good night. Thank you for being here, Black Iris. Good night. Good night to one and all. And I will be in Discord for Discord Writing Club at 5 PM tomorrow, and then on stream from 6 PM for a little bit of Assassin's Creed Unity. And then on this Saturday, we are doing the How to Train Your Dragon watch party number 2 in Discord. If you want to be added to it, let me know, and I'll add you to the watch party's Discord channels. But without further ado, I shall say good night. I hope you all have a lovely night, sweet dreams, and all that good stuff. And I'll say bye-bye. Bye, everyone.